Get over here, Rick.
Bubba stole one of my beers.
Let me see. I want to get in.
I've got,
Come over here.
I have, no, what'd I say? I said, and be quiet until,
Shut it down.
I've got Shiner Blonde in the other fridge.
Hey, stop.
And seltzer.
Hey.
Seltzer.
And seltzer.
And
One
seltzer.
with the dots is yucky,
Delicious.
right?
The one with the dots is yucky.
Okay.
No, where's Barf? Oh, Barf!
Or peach. Yeah.
That's Barf.
Hey.
Hold on, we'll do it in a little bit.
Barfy peach.
Barf or peach?
Hello, person. Lovely to see you, whoever you are.
Singular person.
Singular. You are the singularity. You are the moment that the machines became aware. Squid is lacking chin hair. Tim Doll. Yeah, he had to be a professional and look professional for a while.
Toothbrush.
Yes.
So,
No,
It was
this
painful.
I love how your pinky is touching my arm right now. It's
It wasn't me. My body just did it.
It wasn't awkward until you started stroking my forearm.
It's a rainbow.
It's a nervous,
Stop.
nervous twitch I have.
Stop, we're not starting it. Are we
Whatever you
starting it?
Not
Whenever
yet.
you get nervous, you stroke
I
my
just
forearm.
stroked my
Oh,
forearm.
there it is.
Then what if you got
All right,
Barf?
hold on. We gotta set this up.
Barf
Children.
is this one.
This is how television magic works. Okay.
Bubbles.
So tonight we are going to be talking about fexperts, which are fake experts, nexperts, which is the next expert that you need to be grooming in your tribe or mag or group, as well as spider points while
I
enjoying an
found
adult
Barf.
beverage and eating jelly beans that could be yummy or terrible.
Bean boozle.
Bean boozled.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Gordy, what's up, brother? So there's a great possibility for shenanigans and or terrible content this evening, and it's extremely wet outside,
So we are inside.
so we are inside.
A few tips to get you started.
Get me started.
Do have a trash can handy at all times. Trust us, you'll need it.
You'll need the power of creation.
Do not let wimps or crybabies play this game.
Because
Do fake out your friends while
they're
playing.
lucky. Because they eat beans by themselves. Because they like to eat beans
They like to eat beans.
all the
You
time.
want to go first, Everett?
Yeah.
Spin.
Spin it and do
All
it.
right, you need to pick that green color, and it's either juicy pear or boogers.
Ooh.
Juicy pear.
Well, it's one of these two. You gotta choose one of those.
Is this juicy pear?
I don't know.
What's up, Hobie? What's up,
Wait, did you
Bowman?
go first?
Mm-hmm.
Is that boogers or juicy pear?
Juicy pear.
Are you
Oh,
sure?
wow.
I know how much you like boogers. Are you sure?
Okay.
Right, Beckett, go.
Oh, shoot.
Just like that, only better. Without the oops this
Spin it
time.
again.
Okay.
There you go.
There.
Oh.
Peach or barf?
Oh,
Nice.
no.
Hey, Lois. Yo.
Peach or barf?
Peach.
Oh,
Nice.
lucky.
Nice.
It's your turn,
My
Dad.
turn. I got
Oh, actually, Barf. Oh. Ah.
berry blue or
Or-
toothpaste.
That's
That
not
doesn't
too
seem
bad.
bad.
That's really not bad.
Gross.
You could have done far worse than that. All right,
Berry blue.
very blue.
It's your turn.
I'm well aware, son. Thank
Wow,
you.
that was so gross.
That's right on the line.
Juicy pear
Or booger.
or booger.
You know what? I'm okay with that. Now I'm colorblind though, so I feel like you're gonna give
This
me
one
one.
right here.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe you.
You shouldn't.
Get boogers. Listen here, Bowman. You're brand new to the channel, okay? Take it down a notch, earn your wings,
That's the
and then
only-
we'll talk.
That's the only way on the left. I'm pretty sure it's got to be boogers.
That was definitely boogers.
Can I have
Okay, hey, we're done.
You know what?
We're done for right now.
But-
we'll play again a little bit later. Okay.
No,
The funny
I'm doing
thing,
it.
the funny thing about
No, but
boogers
you and me play it.
is it tastes like a combination between.
Down here.
It's like a combination of a jalapeno and
it?
ashtray. Hello, Tina. How are you? I hope you're here for shenanigans and not like actual information.
Over here, Beckett.
Hey, hey,
Okay.
Elijah is chilling.
Spin the wheel.
Happy Monday, my fellow delinquents.
Okay, I'm gonna scream
No, Bowman, you're cool. We're just messing with you, man.
I gotta say, I'm gonna do what I did.
Keep it down.
So, the first thing we're going to talk about, Fexperts.
Experts.
We've touched on this before
Yes.
in other
We
content.
talked a little bit about it last week.
Yeah, but it bears repeating, and we need to dive deeper on it. Looks like you are having too much fun. You know, an adult drink and you know, poop flavored jelly beans. Yeah, it's a good time. So Fexperts are one of the things that we have our a particular disdain for, because there's a lot of really bad information out there. There's some very good information. Your wine smells delicious, by the way. You're welcome. That's great that you made it yourself. With like a gym sock and everything. That's good. A piece of bread.
Old
and
jockstrap.
Yeah, good job. I still owe Gordy his. I still owe it to
No,
him.
did we get it in the package?
Oh, we did get it in the package.
We did get it in the
We got the
package.
package suspension in the package.
Did you get it yet?
Gordy, did you get it? Lois, can you confirm? How does it look on him? Lois, I need to know. How does it look on him? But fake experts is, you really need to be careful. Scent. Yes, you got it. I need pics.
Yeah.
I need pics. The danger in fake experts is there's a lot of people who want to talk on the internet about things that they probably don't understand. And one of the things that we've tried to do here is not run our mouths about things that we don't quite understand. And when we're unsure about something, is say, give you the caveat of, I don't really know.
Or this is just how we do it.
Right.
This is what works for us. Because not everything is going to work for everybody. And I think that's the thing, is that would be like a warning sign. Somebody who's like, this is how you do it.
Right.
And it's like, there's lots of ways to do things.
Yeah. The way you do something in Oklahoma is not the way you do something in Minnesota.
Yeah.
You know?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Or North Dakota. Are you from North Dakota? Is it Minnesota?
Maybe.
I had a crew from Minnesota, and everything they said kind of sounded like this because they were from Minnesota.
Maybe.
And I was like, y'all are weird. You're in South Texas, you know that, right? So, but yeah, things definitely change. And when you get married to an ideology because some cool guy on the internet said, this is the way you do it, and anybody who doesn't do it this way is an idiot, or will die, or will perish in SHTF, or whatever. Take what you can use and ditch the rest. That's what Pastor Joe says, and I'm going to steal that from him, because it's a good way of saying not everything applies to everybody all the time. So just beware the fake experts out there. And I would go one step further to say, one of the things I appreciate, and I think you appreciate, is the back and forth that we have here. David Christensen sent me a pound of black-eyed peas in the mail and was like, plant these, see what happens. I want to know. Cool. That's awesome. Thank you, brother. Because I don't know everything about that. And he's sending them from a different climate. Chew the meat, spit out the bones. Exactly, Bowman. We don't know everything. And I like the fact when somebody's like, hey man, by the way, you should try this, or do this way, or this worked for me, or whatever. So,
I think that's where you get into the power of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just, you're listening to one person. There's an actual back and forth that's going on.
Yeah.
And
oh, you're cool. You're not pictured, Miss Squid.
And that's the difference, is that, we want a dialogue. We want to encourage a back and forth, because I want to learn from you guys too.
He's hunting hogs off of his back porch.
Nice. What are you using?
Yeah, what are you using? 5.56 would be my guess. What do you got? I learned that once you cut up jalapenos, you need to wash your hands before you smoke. I was a CB, so I'm not what you call a smart man.
Or go to the bathroom.
Or go to the bathroom. But I bet you know how to run a bulldozer.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I had a guy named Dave who was a CB who worked for me one time. Truck driver, but there was not a piece of equipment that we owned that he could not operate. And it was like, And he never volunteered that he could operate it, but he could run all of it.
Right.
He's like, all right, I guess if you need me to run the track, I was like, Dave, you can run the track. Well, yeah, I can run the track.
308.
308 Ruger, nice. Good job.
Take him down to China.
I like it. Stacking meat in the freezer.
I'm still after shooting a 6.5 Creedmoor, man.
Yeah.
It's so slick. Like, just
Flat,
Oh.
fast, easy.
Yeah.
That's what Uncle Scott had this weekend. 6.5
Really?
Creedmoor. No, it's like the moment the trigger breaks, there's a plume of dust 100 yards away. Like, instant. I do like 308 though. It's so plentiful. You know? Go regulate.
Regulation.
There should be way more people watching. You guys are awesome. Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate that. I'm assuming your gender. Don't judge me. Please don't judge me. But, you know, again, getting on the whole fake experts thing is, I'm happy to have the viewership and participation that we have. And I've talked quite a bit about the, yes, I have a wiener. Good job. You are a wiener. I've talked quite a bit about the 4 quarters philosophy here. I have a standalone video on that. Paraphrasing, by the way. Yeah, Roger that. Proverbs, which we will be starting this coming Sunday. But I would rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. I would rather have 4,000 people here that really want to be here than 100,000 people that don't really want to be here. Evening, what's up, PJ? How are you?
You will never be in it again. You need to go to your room.
So,
Go.
I'm glad to have the viewership and participation that we do have. You know, and it always varies. People have stuff going on. A couple weekends ago, after one live stream, we had 1,680 hours of view time after one live stream. That's huge. So, anyway, fake experts, watch out for that. The fexperts. There's lots of people out there. In fact, where's Palmetto and Squatch? I don't know, Lois. Solid channel here. Thank you, Bowman. Palmetto is probably in a holding cell somewhere because he got arrested for being naked again. And Squatch is probably stalking the woods somewhere, eating small mammals, ripping fur from their hide, breaking them in half, you know, eating the guts, leaving the meat. You know, doing the kinds of things that a Sasquatch would do. Oh, you're all good, Miss Squid. You're all good. It is real life around here. So
Where you at?
we're putting a bow on fake experts and how to hero worship, which we talked about before. Is don't get bought into one person's ideology, because then you're a single faceted person. You know one way. How's Miss Squid? Miss Squid is good. She's actually holding Mr. Elijah right now.
Yes.
So
Hi.
she says hi. I'm glad you love the channel. I really am. That's what I'm saying. I would rather have 4,000 people, thank you, Yah, that want to be here than 100,000 people that are whatever. So I'll take it. You got anything to add? I see your sketch of the southeastern United States over there.
It's very technical.
What's up, Steve? Steven. It's very technical. Should we show the people?
Well, we'll show it later.
Later? Okay.
Leave it as a.
You
like
forgot part of Oklahoma, but...
Whatever. Is that it?
Hey, what's up, Creeth? Speak up, please.
All right.
All right. Go on. Nexperts.
So Nexpert, you know, we were talking today about what can the subject be, and we knew we wanted to dive into kind of the fake expert and the, you know, those folks who are, you know, kind of selling themselves for something they're not, and they're maybe misguiding you, and that you need to watch out for. And it reminded me of something that I used to implement when I used to do consulting, which is, it was called an expert. And I was like, we need to talk about this too, because it's a way that you need to be thinking about your tribe. Who is the next expert at whatever that skill or function is that's growing up in your tribe? So you're always making sure that you've got redundant systems, you've got multiple people who can do things, but identifying those folks that maybe it's just not that they're getting assigned that task, but it's the right task for what their skill level, interests, and abilities are.
Yeah.
To become that next expert on whatever system that is.
Proper utilization of the person.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a huge thing. And it's got a lot of facets to it because, like you said, there's the communal aspect of making sure that you're bringing up the next witch doctor, for lack of a better term, the next potato expert, the next long-range shooter. I mean, my buddy James, you've met James. That guy, you can't keep him out of the woods. Like, he traps, he hunts, he fishes, and he's phenomenal at all of it. By the way, hello, Miss Jackie. Again, your children love you. They're proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing, and thank you for being here. His mother-in-law, Tia's mom.
Ah.
Yeah. So keep doing it. What's up, Tim? That's a cute heart you have there. We like you a lot. I'm not sure that it's love, but we like you a lot. So anyway, there's some facets there of having the proper utilization for the person that, you know, I could take a guy like James, for example, and I could teach him Microsoft Excel all day.
Right.
He might get it. He's not going to love it.
Well, that's one of the ways that I kind of bucked the system in the military is, and even, you know, my post-consulting career, everything was always about development areas in your year ratings.
Right.
And or quarterly or whatever it was about you need to do better at this. And I kind of went the opposite direction to where I'm like, maybe there's a reason that they're not good at that because they don't want to be.
Right.
Because they don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
And so I went the avenue of exploiting people's good
Yeah,
things.
hitting their strong suits. Yeah.
And so one of the things I used to do in my last job in the military, I used to interview every single person coming in. And it wasn't about what school have you been to, what blah blah blah. It was about them.
Mm-hmm.
So my questions were about them. What did they like? What are their interests? What do they like to do? And sometimes, and there was cases where I took a linguist, and instead of making him do an analysis job on languages or on the language, I actually made him a reporter because I found out that they went to college for 2 years as an English major.
Right.
Right? And so it's like, I think I can use you better there. And they were interested in creative writing, and they're interested in this, and it's like, no, it makes more sense that I put you in that role versus the role where it's cookie cutter.
Right.
And you probably aren't going to be great at it.
But part of that is knowing the people you have underneath you. So
Yeah.
what you're saying is you're taking the time to get to know the people underneath you and what are their skill sets, their interests, the whole nine.
Yeah, he's throwing stuff.
So go ahead. Go regulate. Do what you gotta do. Parenthood. You know what? Let's turn the comments back on. Live chat. All messages are visible. Roger that. Coast Guard. Negative. Keith says, how come your group has a few videos, Gordy? Because they're awesome. That's the APN. So what is the proper size group to have? You know what? We're going to come back around to that because we're talking about an expert. But let's stick on that. The proper size group to have.
Do you want to stick on that, or do you want to do something on it specifically?
Well, I want to put a bow on an expert first.
Yes.
May I?
Sure.
The idea here is to the idea here. I need to
Okay, Professor.
listen here, sir. I need to understand how to speak words again.
And stuff.
And things also. Boom! Curry Caldwell is in the house. Every time he comes on live chat, it's boom with 3 exclamation. Boom! He's like the Moab. Curry Caldwell's here. You got a lot of intel. Yes, Keith. Yes. By the way, your caps lock is stuck on, brother. We love you.
We love you so much.
We really do, but your caps lock is stuck on. So, in regard to an expert, is what are you doing to assess the skill sets necessary to your tribe or your group or your mag or whatever, and to foster those necessary skill sets in the people that are coming up underneath you.
Yeah.
And you have to be observant in order to look at the people you have and say, you know what, no matter what, Madeline is never going to be great at running a long gun. I'm pretty sure Madeline needs to cut some herbs, right? Nice haircuts. What do we have here? Oh, Sharon, cancel. Listen here, she. What is that? Personalized consultation to find out specialties to each member, yet should all members be multidisciplined? That's very relative.
Yes and no.
Yes. I think 3. You should have a primary and then a couple of backups for everybody.
Well, it's rule of 3s, right? 3 is 2.
Right.
2 is 1. 1 is none, right? I think that's how I do like my preps. I've got to have at least 3 ways to make water, because that means I have 2 ways. If I have 2 ways, I only have 1. If I only have 1 way to get water, that means you're done. I think it's the same thing with skill sets and abilities, is that you have to have redundancies and backups for them.
Yeah. So Keith is losing his eyesight. Roger that, brother. So number 1, you need to come out so that we can pray over you. Number 2, I forgive you your capitals. So we do love you, and we send you peace and smoke.
Very much.
And no problem. I was just having some fun at your expense. So shoot me an email, ntxmag@gmail.com. Let's get together and we'll do this. Now, getting back to multifaceted disciplines for a mag, there are certain things that everybody should know how to do, in my humble opinion.
Basic first aid.
Agreed. Absolutely.
Basic self-defense.
Look at this guy, mini console. You owe me $1, sir. You owe me $1. Patreon.com/TJ Morris NTX Mag. You're welcome. Good day. Oh, Tim, how are you? How's life over there? How are the sheep treating you, brother? You got your wellies on or what? What's going on? Did you see the thing? There's children around. Did you see the thing about the guy who bought a 275-gallon tote of lube and then declared himself his own country, a country of Fapistan? He tried to secede. Fapistan. They're in the mail, Keith. They're coming. They're coming. They're in the mail. The shirts are coming, I promise you. So
when Beckett was like 2 years old, I had this like attachable gate that I used to make a compound out of. And whenever he got in trouble or he just needed to play by himself, I used to deport him to Uzbekistan.
Oh man. All right, so basic first aid is a must.
Absolutely.
I think everybody of an adult or intermediate age in your group needs to know how to squeeze a trigger. It does not
basic self-defense.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is it doesn't need to be your primary function. Hurry up and wait, Roger. But you need to know how to squeeze a trigger. That's why this past weekend I had Harlan and Cheyenne on the AR, and they weren't doing great, but they were doing great for children.
Yeah.
They were hitting a man-sized target at 75 yards repeatedly without magnification. Now, Cheyenne, after I put a 20-round magazine in there for her, and after 20 rounds, she's done. It's just, she was done. She had too much. She was smoked. But everybody, if they had to, should know how to do that. So, first aid, squeeze the trigger, understand or at least participate in growing food, tending food, whatever.
Food preservation basics.
Hold on, Zub. I can't let that go. Got mine today, but Bear has Tennessee confused with Kentucky. Cousins are a no-no here. LOL. Prove it. I would like to see your family tree.
Evidence,
I've seen your family tree. It's a straight line, sir. Patriot CB is here as well. You've been all over the place here lately, Patriot CB. I got like 16 notifications from you and comments on videos in the last 24 hours. So I appreciate it. And I want to foot stomp this. We pay attention to that stuff. Like
as best as we can. I mean, we've got full-time jobs and families and everything going on, and so we try as hard as we can to get to everything.
Look who I... Ariel, baby. Oh no, your arms were on camera. Is that okay? Disembodied squid arms. Oh no. And Ashley's here as well. Hello, Ashley McCormick. But yeah, we do try and... You have incredible eyeballs.
He does.
We do try and pay attention to these things. I mean, I try and go out of my way to at least like or heart or comment.
I don't even get notifications because you're on the
Yeah.
as the admin, but I'll take a look every once in a while just to make sure that, hey, maybe if somebody said something on one of the ones I'm with you on, that I can jump in and say something. And that's more just to try to help you out, so you're not.
It's because you love the limelight. Don't lie to me.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Don't lie to me.
It's what it is.
Oh, he is gorgeous. You're right, Lois.
Yeah. Over 9 pounds.
Over 9 pounds. Praise the Father. That is awesome. Space Ranger baby. Yeah, he can fly. Do you see that? Your body bag vid is funny. Someone must have been late for work too many times. Yeah. You picked up on that?
Yeah, I have to write a memo tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Memos and stuff.
Memos and
words.
stuff. Just, I think, we need to talk to them about this. And then we will come back around to the whole skill sets for mags thing.
Yeah.
Because that's all the tangents. That's all we have are the tangents.
Tangents.
But.
Are you looking at them?
Heck yeah.
Are you looking at them?
Here, watch this. We can do this.
Are you looking at them?
All I need is a beard and a pinstripe suit, and I am in business.
We can work on that.
We can, yeah, I can make this happen.
No.
I know some people. Hey, you want to be on camera? Hey, do you want to be on camera?
No, I look hideous.
But do you want to be on camera
No,
though?
I don't.
Space Force door gunner.
I look hideous.
That's actually going to become a thing now. Like, it's no longer going to be an internet. Spaceship door gunner is actually going to be a job now. So I guess I agree with you. Well, thank you, Gary. I'm glad that Pastor Joe was able to bring you over to my side of seeing things. But number one, LOL. And number two, the beauty in this is that we can all disagree on things.
What?
They want to see you.
No, I look hideous right now.
You're gorgeous.
No, thank you.
You're gorgeous. You're gorgeous.
Maybe one day.
One day.
One day.
When
So,
you're
tonight-
ready.
Tonight we officially asked her, Mrs. Squid, as a trained culinary chef.
This is Tangent 5. Go ahead.
Yes.
Tangent 5.
We wrote down some common prepper ingredients that would be in a prepper closet, and she is going to make a dish for next Monday night and make a recipe, and then we will post that recipe as a resource for, hey, if you're really in SHTF, here's a recipe of something that tastes good, that isn't just you're filling your belly.
Well, it's-
And I won't even be here, so I won't get to see your
Oh
food
no.
responses.
Oh yeah,
But-
baseball.
Baseball started.
Yay.
Hey, Monday, Tuesday,
Yay.
Thursday.
Question mark.
Yeah, I think it's
Um,
We
Monday,
prayed
Tuesday.
for rain and it rained today.
So Miss Squid is an awesome chef. Prepper Cookbook by Miss Squid. Do it. I can get you 1 million downloads. Freeze dry Friday with the family. Nice. That's awesome.
Oh, what she made tonight.
Oh, it's delicious.
Oh.
I've never had ground raccoon that was that good. That was awesome.
It was not.
That was not ground raccoon? No?
Oh, this is gonna be yummy.
Yeah, it's going to be very yummy. Going home books. Yes, the going home books are good. Squid needs to try my red beans and rice. Yes, Gordy, he does. I'll tell you what.
Armadillo stew in the shell.
Speedy beef. Yeah, roger that. Querite deum verum. All right, listen, from now on, you are now QDV, okay? Because that's too many syllables. QDV. Here's the deal. As far as skill sets for a mag goes, basic first aid, the ability to squeeze a trigger, the ability to grow and or procure food are going to be my top 3. Beyond that, drop into specialties. Can you run comms gear? Do you know how to set up /man an LP or an OP, listening post, observation post? Are you good behind a long gun? Because not everybody is. It takes a lot. I used the love scroll. Me too. I have a funny
Tangent
story about
number
that.
20?
Tangent number 692. But then you start dropping into specialties: medicine man, medicine woman, wild edibles, the ability to identify game trails, water procurement, how to use a dowsing rod. There's like, ultimately, in my humble opinion, survivalism best expresses itself in homesteading, working a piece of land.
Oh, it's like, for me, like, I love doing that because I totally feel so close to God when I'm out in my garden.
Right? Roger
Like,
that.
it's just, but
Well,
I'm
going to interrupt you
okay.
unapologetically. I will post that video that I took when I walked in your backyard, because his garden, like most people's gardens, are like this big. You walk into his backyard, it's like
My okra is like 6 feet plus. But no, but for me,
shoot,
sitting under that 6.5 Creedmoor
uh-huh,
and laying there and taking shots out to 1100, like, it's just my call. And that wasn't even my rifle.
right,
Like, it's just, I'm just good at shooting long gun. I always have been.
it's that calm.
I hit a target.
Body bag.
Not that target.
Compost.
At 400 yards open sight with an AR.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'll put it to you this way. So I'm doing intelligence stuff and I'm doing PSYOP stuff over in Iraq. And I run into a buddy of mine who I'd known for probably 12 or 13 years. I didn't know what happened to him. Like,
We're going there, Curry.
he was a nuke ET, became a nuke, a nuke submarine officer, and then all of a sudden, like, he was just gone. And I'm like,
She dipped or what?
where'd this guy go? So I'm in Iraq and I'm going from buyout into the green zone, and I get there and here this convoy pulls up, and it's my buddy who decided to go blue to green, right? Nuclear engineer. He went blue to green, and he's a cop now. He's an MP.
This is what you're telling Campbell at the site out in Weatherford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, holy cow. So we ended up being able to spend about a day and a half together and get, lunch and kind of hang out. And he's talking to his guys. Like, I'm dishing out all these stories because his nickname was IQ. And it wasn't because he was so smart, and he was smart, but it's because he overthought everything.
Yeah.
And so I guess he was still that way. So like, I start telling these stories and his guys are laughing at him, right? Here is, Captain such and such, and all his guys are laughing at him, and they're like, yeah, he's exactly like that, right? Like, I'm picking it apart. And he's like, and here you are. He goes, you're the best shot I have ever met in my life. And you're like building plans and PowerPoint presentations. Like, he's like, I have to think that there's someplace better that we could be using you. And I'm like, brother, this is where they got me. Like, I'm here.
Awesome, though.
I'm here for a reason, but you know what the reason is? I am really good at strategic communications now. Like,
Francis.
because that's what it is. Psychological operations is nothing besides getting your target audience to change a behavior to what you want.
Yep.
That's what it is. And so
Predicting human behavior.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
But it's just funny. But my two sweet spots are sitting under that scope.
Yep.
And like in the garden on my knees pulling weeds.
Yep.
Some of the worst work I've done in there when I haven't taken care of it for like 2 weeks, and all of a sudden I got all these weeds I got to yank out, and I made my life miserable. But yet it's still just a closeness that I have with nature, and it's a peace.
It's refreshing. I mean, we talked about.
It's life.
Well,
as in life.
You really got me into gardening as almost a therapy to begin with, because like it's easy to prepare. like basic level of preparedness. I'm gonna buy a bunch of food. I'm good. I don't need to produce anything. I just bought everything I need.
Well, see, I think that's a common
Well,
misconception.
It's a mistake.
It's a common misconception because you've got to supplement.
Hydroponics. We're gonna go there in a hot minute. There's so many places we need to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got me into the therapeutic side of gardening, and
That's what it was for me.
yeah, the at one mint of just like you're literally on your knees, hands in the dirt, like that was so ninja. Here's like the best thing. Like, we can walk out our front door right now, which is north facing, and next to the bush there, I have a tomato plant growing. Yep.
And this is what the piece about it for me is, because I see the miracle in it. But you think about it, like a bird last year
Yep.
came and ate a tomato, which I probably yelled at, threw stuff at, everything else. But then flew and landed in that bush and deposited the perfect creation of stuff for that tomato plant to grow again. Like, if you don't see that as a miracle, like, I don't know what you can see as a miracle. If you don't see it as a miracle, like,
Hello, Space Force.
But he's standing. Did you see
I
that?
know.
he's getting so strong. His legs.
Incredible. Go ahead.
His neck's getting so strong too.
I know,
But,
he's awesome.
I mean, I just look at that and it's just this incredible miracle that we just take for granted.
I stole your baby, by the way.
That's all right.
Okay. Cool.
You're not leaving with it, so.
Well, then, I wouldn't dare. There's
You
no
might-
formula at
You
my
might have a
house.
night like you had this
Yeah.
past weekend.
Oh
if
my
you stole
gosh,
him.
Aspen owned me. 60 hours.
Owned.
60 hours of the 2-year-old is in charge.
But for me, it's seeing kind of those miracles or the miracles of saving
Amen.
seeds and year over year, getting this. When you go to watch this video of the
Yep.
garden,
Yep.
these are okra plants. They're okra trees.
Yeah, they're ginormous.
The trunks on them are like this, and it's the 4th year that I've saved seeds and planted it. And what about potatoes?
Okay, hold on. We need to address something.
Okay.
How can you know 100% for sure that you were saved? Bear, if you don't have time to answer this, maybe someone in the comments can. Okay, James Canomus. How can you know, number one, 100% for sure you were saved? Couple of things. Number one, the first thing I would say is you need to have a hose clamp on your ring finger.
Yes.
If you don't have that, it's probably not going to happen for you. But in all honesty, if you're unsure, if you don't know if you were saved, just do this. Are you ready? Is everybody ready? We all good? We're all cleared hot? What do you say, Mr. Elijah? You good? All right, here you go. Father God, I'm a broken human being. I need the redemptive blood of Yeshua, Jesus the Christ. Help me, please. I can't do this on my own.
Mustard seed.
I beg your forgiveness. Please wash me in the blood of the Lamb. I can't do it myself. Okay? So, I have sinned, and I beg your forgiveness of my sins. Please be indwelt in me. I want to do your work through me, and I pray this in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay?
And the beauty of it is that it's not about you accepting Christ. It's that Christ has already accepted us.
Yeah, he made
The way we are.
He made a way for you from the dawn of time.
Yeah.
So that's step one. Now you're saved. Now, step two, go out and move in faith and begin to bear fruit. And you're going to be overloaded with brokenness. Like everybody has their baggage and their stuff.
And just try to be better than the day before.
Amen. That
Just try to be better.
how
than
many
the day
times have we
before.
preached that? Be better today, right? Yes. Our boss just texted us. The owner of the company to
Blow up.
get out of the ditch right now just texted me and said, would you please send me that video of Aspen snort laughing? Yes, I will. How do you know you're saved? Because your eyes get switched on and your ears get switched on, and all of a sudden you can see the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit is indwelt in you, and all of these things start happening.
And you're still going to make mistakes. But the
Yeah.
reason why you're going to make mistakes is because evil is still trying to trip you up. It's still trying to mess you up. It's still trying to tell you you're not good enough, that you don't deserve it. But you've already earned it. It's already there. Lord, or Miss Squid just handed me, my brokenness is a better bridge for people than my pretend wholeness ever was.
That's
and
correct.
I think that's the story that me and Mrs. Squid bring, because, you know, when we got close to Christ, when our real change happened about 4 years ago, that's when we've had probably one of the most difficult times in our life, if not the most difficult times in our life.
Things get hard.
It gets harder. You get attacked more.
You guys absolutely.
You know, and I know it's because, you know, I got a little 7-year-old man up there who walked up to us earlier this year and said, "Mommy, Daddy, I want to be baptized."
Yeah.
And we're like, "You want to be baptized? Well, why do you want to be baptized?" And he said, "Because I want to give my life to Jesus."
Yeah.
He understood why. Like some people didn't understand. Well, why are you getting him baptized again? Because he was baptized after he was born. And I said, because he's now chosen what that baptism is.
Yeah.
Versus him being forced and not knowing. He knows exactly what it's for. All right, another one from Mrs. Squid. For a seed to achieve its greatest expression, it must come completely undone. The shell cracks, the insides come out, and everything changes. For someone who doesn't understand growth, it would look like complete destruction.
Yeah. So, but that in of itself is a very good summation of the book of Habakkuk or Habakkuk, right? Where Habakkuk is up on the side of this mountain, and he's just looking down.
I'm saved.
You're saved. Oh no, chill,
Baby Elijah.
chill, little man.
I have told baby Elijah the story of Elijah so many times now.
For Elijah was a prophet of Yah, and he was super powerful, right?
I have been zealous. I've been zealous of the Lord.
But so Habakkuk he's looking down, and he's like, Father, why would you allow everything to get so jacked up? And the basic summation of that book is, I'm going to utterly destroy you so I can put you back together better than you've ever been for me. And that's the whole idea. And that thing with that seed, the peace that the Holy Spirit gives you is amazing. Yes, Sister Francis, that is correct.
But I mean, I would say this: don't think that we don't get challenged.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
We get Mondays.
Here, I got this thing for you.
Mondays are Squid and Bear challenge days. They very much are. I mean, we still get our challenges, you know, but it takes us together to center ourselves and get ourselves back right again.
That's a good thing to talk about, because one of the things that we know is with the two of us is that if I'm not right, it will affect you.
Yeah.
And if you're not right, it will affect me. And we have to body bag day. Amen. You're welcome, James. You're welcome. I hope that helps. If the fruit of the Spirit, right? The Beatitudes, Matthew 5:7. Right? What are the fruits of the Spirit? But we know how we affect each other. And we have to...
And we will affect other people by us feeding off each other.
And so if we're not in a good place, I have to pull you to a good place, or you have to pull me to a good place, so that we can operate from a position of strength.
Don't cry.
So that's something to understand when it comes to the idea of a mag or a group or a business or a crew or a team or a whatever.
Monkey bug.
Yeah, I see that. Thank you, Bowman. But just operate from a position of strength as best you can at all times, and understand that you're going to have days. And on the days that you have days, what a blessing a brother is.
Yeah, biggest thing that Mrs. Squid brought to me was just the realization that I choose whether or not I have joy.
Yeah.
Like, anybody else can't make me feel that way. I have to choose to feel that way because of whatever somebody did or said, or so I can sit there and go, you know what? Just because this didn't happen, I don't have to accept it. I'm not going to accept it. I'm going to choose being happy. I'm going to choose joy. We actually had that happen a couple days ago. You need to write something down?
I got it.
All right, big eyes.
Choose joy, brother.
And that's
How I say it to my children is choose joy or lose toy.
choose
Choose joy or lose
toy.
toy. Roger that.
But I mean, I think that's one of the ways where we trip, where we make mistakes, is that we allow other people to affect how we're feeling. When at the end of the day, it's your choice. You make that choice, and so you need to make it conscious in your day-to-day life that when something like that happens, you turn around and look at it and go, no, I'm not going to let you affect me. I'm not going to let it happen. I'm going to choose to be happy, and you don't matter. And that doesn't matter. So, and I've done that to you a few times.
That's two-way street.
I know.
Yes.
You got the signed shirt.
Kentucky.
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 Yeah. Hey, Ken Fannin. Didn't get you to notice you were live. Hey, by the way, Ken, go check Patreon. You're welcome.
You already posted?
I believe I did.
All right.
I'm pretty sure. No. Ken, Ken's another one. Good to see you, sir. Ken is another one of those who's been with us for a good long while. I got a message from somebody. I saw it already. You're welcome.
Did you like it?
I hope that it helped. That's all I will say. Today was kind of a grind at the shop, and it was almost like, a little battery. It was almost like we need to go do this now, just to kind of.
Well, it's funny, like all the things that we've been doing with
It
work.
was good. Thank you.
All the things that we've been doing with work has made work easier and has made workload less. So in a way, we're like working ourselves out of a job.
Right.
And so the hard thing is that we're doing all the right things, but it's making some things miserable because we end up not having anything to do.
Yeah.
But it's all good. It's all good things. It's the right things. But then we're sitting there going, all right, it's
okay. Now what do we do?
It's 6:52.
We've been here for 52 minutes now.
What does the rest of our day till 5 look like?
Speed is breaking up. I need to run out to the truck here and go get a charger to hook up to this telephone.
Okay.
So we don't lose the live feed. Can you hang tight for 60 seconds?
Yeah. We can do baby dances.
All right, baby dances. So somebody asked, do a thing on skidding squirrels. No, I will not. The Torah says you do not eat things that go forth on paws. I used to kill and eat a lot of squirrels. I don't anymore. And I have nothing against those that do, but I'm not going to do an instructional video
That's just the path you're on now.
That's the path I'm on now. Elijah's like, I will cut you. I will cut you, bro.
I will stick you.
I will cut you. So why don't you talk a little bit about the...
Oh, I would look if your big hand wasn't in the way.
Why don't you for a minute, and I will tell you.
Oh, I should agree.
The relationship between gardening and repentance. Okay?
Oh.
Gardening and repentance. This is what we were talking about before. Getting at one. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to run out to the truck. I'm going to scoot this table.
You want?
Yeah, scoot the table.
I'll be right
You
back.
go that way.
Huh?
No, he'll go out the front door. Front door's open.
Oh.
May I?
'Cause
Stripes is in the garage.
the crazy.
Oh. Now, I will eat that cat. Torah or no Torah, I'm just saying.
So, so back to gardening and
You
repentance.
should tell them what the cat did.
No, it's fine. It's gonna be dead soon anyway. Gardening and repentance. For me, my peace comes with the fact that I'm helping to bring to life, you know, something that for us. Somebody just went out the front door. You know, but for me, it's about year over year trying to do better. Like, I want to do better with whatever plant that is, whatever strain that I'm growing. I do, if you've seen any of the stuff, I do all my own seed saving. So I try to I try to get my own seeds so that I adapt the plants to this climate. And you know, I think that's one way where. No problem. I'm gonna pat his back too. I think that's one way where I gain peace, is that it's me in nature trying to do something, and trying to do like the garlic. I took a garlic that is not supposed to grow here, and it took me 4 years, but after 4 years, I was able to make it flourish. And I think that's the same thing with us, is that it takes time sometimes for us to flourish, and we're gonna make mistakes. And my peach trees, for example, this year I'm like, I'm not touching them this year. I'm gonna let them grow. And guess what happened this year? I had 4 or 5 branches snap off because I didn't fruit thin, and I should have fruit thinned because the branches got too heavy. I still have a ton of peaches, but like for me, it was the reminder of, okay, I didn't have a good year last year, so I was like, you know what? Who am I to think that I can make this tree grow better than God, right?
God.
And so this year, I'm like, I'm not touching it.
I ain't doing it.
So it's like, guess what happened? He still needs us to attend. He still needs us to have action. Like, after we plant our seeds, we still need to reap a harvest. We still need to have action to be able to that step away. And by taking, I lost a couple was heavy.
You're good.
And so the lesson that it's taught me this year versus like last year of like, we still need to have attention to those things. They still require action. It's like the if you've ever heard the story of the man who's in his house and it's raining and the water's rising, and you know the sheriff comes by.
I got it. We're good at this.
Save. The sheriff comes by and like, hey, you need to evacuate. Like, you're gonna die. And he's like, no, God's got me. You know, and then the boat comes by as the water's rising, and he says, you know, hey, come on, get on the boat. Like, you're gonna die if you stay here. No, God's gonna save me. I have faith. And then, you know, the next person, the helicopter finally comes by, and the guy's on the roof. And helicopter's like, get in the helicopter. No, God's gonna save me.
It's fine.
Water rises, guy dies, goes to heaven, standing in front of God and says, God, you know, why did you fail me? And he's like, I sent the sheriff, a boat, all these things to you. Like, what else do you want me to do?
Open your eyes.
Yeah. And so, like, it's you know, we require action on our parts as well. It's not just sit on the couch and eat chips and everything's gonna come to you.
But Dad,
No,
please.
and that's all I got to say about that.
Well, diabetes. My name is Walford TJ, and I have
Walford TJ diabetes.
I have diabetes.
Diabetes.
Something. It ain't gonna end well for me. Well, good job, Squid.
Should we do this?
No.
This geographically accurate math.
Your panhandles are all messed up, but yeah, we're getting there. Comes to me in ways that I can understand. Yes, that is correct. The Father speaks to us in languages that we can understand. And I'm going to foot stomp this. And if you have any questions about this, go back and look at some of the Shabbat videos.
Well, even the one we did, too.
Yeah. But the Echad, what is the Echad, right? Deuteronomy 6:4. Shema, Israel, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad. What does that mean? Hear, O Israel. Who's Israel? Shazam. You. Me. Miss Squid. Baby Elijah. You. Hear, O Israel. Yahweh is one. God is one.
So here's another tangent, but it's actually...
It's done. I'm going to write this down.
It's becoming actually more of something that I notice all the time.
Okay.
Is when I've seen or hear people are like, oh, that's not the Jesus I know that would treat somebody that way. And I'm going, Jesus threw tables around in the temple.
Amen.
And challenged and that is the Jesus I know.
Spoke to power.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes. And
sorry.
But part of that is that's the Jesus that people know because that's what they're told in Christianity and they don't get the full story of it. But hear, O Israel, Yahweh is your God, Yahweh is one. That one, that Echad, right? If you look at Genesis 1:26, and the Father Elohim says, let us make man in our image. Who's the us? The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Yeah, Jesus beat people with a rope. Exactly, right? What would Jesus do? He'd flip tables and beat people with a rope. That's what he would do. And people tend to forget that. What would he do? I love when he's in the Garden of Gethsemane, right? And 1,000 soldiers show up. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000 soldiers show up. And he knows they're there. And he goes, who are you looking for? And they say, Yeshua of Nazareth. And he says, who are you looking for? And they go, Yeshua of Nazareth. And he stands up and says, I am he, which is reminiscent in the Old Testament. And they said, well, what should we call you? And he goes, I am that I am, right? And then and then Yeshua, Jesus, stands up in the garden and goes, I am he, and boom. It literally says everybody gets knocked over, ass over tea kettle, like a nuclear bomb going off.
I am.
And so that power in love is not, love the sinner, hate the sin. Body bag. Iron sharpens iron, brother. Body bag. Like, come on, man.
I'm going to digress this. So Mrs. Squid is going to take regular rice, black beans, any bouillon and basic spices that would be in most people's prepping items.
Right.
Dehydrated vegetables, and canned salmon, and make us a meal.
And it's gonna be the bomb.
And then we're gonna give you the recipe to the bomb.
Do you knock love the sinner, hate the sin. Tighten the little thing down.
It's got a nut on it for reasons.
This has two on it.
Nice.
Wheelbarrow. Hashtag wheelbarrow. All right.
Are we ready?
Finally.
Are we ready to go?
No. We still need to spend 60 seconds on high science yummy. Don't look at comments, Roger. We need to spend 60 seconds on hydroponics. Do I like hydroponics?
I'd be honest, I haven't. It's time for a bean.
You go first.
Bean boozled break.
What the heck is that?
That didn't spin very good.
That's really
spin.
spun. I saw that.
That didn't spin. All right.
Okay.
I get
buttered pecan
or
popcorn,
rotten eggs.
buttered popcorn, or rotten eggs.
Or rotten eggs.
Do it. Please, rotten eggs.
Yeah, that's rotten eggs.
Yes, I love that. Eat it.
His eyes are watering.
I love this.
All right, go.
I'll get you some for the shop.
Please do. What do we got here?
I think
Berry blue or toothpaste? Hook me up, brah.
so. Since you're colorblind, it's one of those two, right there.
The same color.
Yeah, he's colorblind. He doesn't know it's blue.
Thank you, Miss Squid.
That's why I don't know why we had him painting signs.
What?
I don't know why we had him painting letters green the other day.
Because I'm awesome at it. That's why.
Right.
How good did those signs look?
They look
Do
good.
I snort this? Like, how does this work? Like,
Dare you.
chop it up into a
Dare
line
you.
and...
So I used to, her older brother,
That's definitely toothpaste.
her older brother and his friends, they're a couple of knuckleheads, boy.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, you know what? You need to do a man shot. And they're like, man shot? And I'm like, yeah, let's do man shots. And they're like, all right, what is it? And I'm like, all right, shot of tequila.
Uh-huh.
You snort the salt, shoot the shot,
Yeah.
and squirt the lime in your eye. And they're kind of redheads. And so he goes, is it Mike or is it Mark?
Oh, Dave's, yeah.
I think it was Mike.
Mark.
No, Mark.
The older one.
Yeah.
Mark.
And so Mark does it.
I'm fine.
And he squirts the lime in his eye after snorting it. And his face just turns red. His eyes bloodshot and burning. I'm laughing so hard I'm on the ground. Tears running down my eyes.
Okay, but let's go into the fact that he did it first, and it
Yeah, but I'm not a sissy and it didn't hurt me.
No,
There's a difference.
And you had practice.
And I'm a squid.
Yeah, and you're a squid. Yeah. You're first, fat man. I'm gonna tell that story one day. You're first, fat man.
Let's put
Okay.
this aside.
Hydroponics.
I'll be honest with you, hydroponic wise, I've looked into it. I've never done it. Hard for me to give you a hard and fast opinion about that because I just no eat it.
Eat it. What
dog
was it?
food.
Eat it.
Dog food. Yummy.
Um,
What if this was SHTF? That's protein, man.
Yeah.
You gotta eat that.
um,
Miss Squid just got a dog food jelly bean.
It was
But-
supposed to be chocolate pudding or dog food.
It's not chocolate pudding. It's
but so it's hard. Everything I've seen on it looks awesome. The thing I would say is that if you're putting all your money into hydroponics and what you're doing, what if you lose electricity?
Yep.
I mean,
What if?
are you hand pumping? Did you set it up with a backup hand pump so that you could come every hour and hand pump it?
Show me that hand pump action again.
It's my fishing.
Is that-
She's but I mean,
well, hold on. Do you hand pump every hour? I need to know.
every hour.
Is this why your production has been lacking at the shop?
So,
I just got the dirtiest look from Miss Squid.
but that's
Okay.
and she left.
She left, yeah.
But I mean, that's a serious thing, though, right? Because if you lost your electricity and say you're like, all right, I got it. I'm gonna hook a hand pump up to this,
Right.
and I will keep my hydroponics going through hand pumping. So you're gonna hand pump every hour.
Have you ever seen that Family Guy episode where Quagmire comes walking out of the house when he's been locked in his house for a week, alone?
Oh yeah.
Like one arm is like this little tiny arm, and then he's like, "Hey Peter," or Peter's like, "Hey Quagmire," and Peter, he waves back, and his arm is like, like this one giant arm. That's gonna be you hand pumping hydroponics after a week. Yeah.
That would be about as far as I would go as far as any advice that I would give on it. To me, I don't think it's a sustainable SHTF solution.
Do y'all know?
In rule of law,
Sure.
I absolutely think it's awesome.
Do it.
I mean, you grow inside, you do all this, but if you're growing inside and you lose power and you're hand cranking and you don't have as much light as you could get,
Yeah.
I think it's problematic.
Well, and aquaponics with tilapia, I think it's a cool system. Have you seen that? Yeah, solar, exactly. But we're gonna come to this, right? Hey, sustainable, what's up, brother? Question mark, brother. However you identify right now. I don't know if you're an ish or a zer or I don't want to guess. Whatever you're comfortable with. But the aquaponics thing is incredible. Using tilapia to provide nutrients into the water, which feed the plants, and then the runoff from the plants goes back into a tank, and the tilapia eat the runoff from the plants, and that's cool. That's all great. The problem with that is that it's not a very KISS-friendly system. What is KISS? KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Stop playing with it. The easier it is, the more likely it is to succeed. And I mean, I've seen this system in the works at the Heritage Homestead in Waco, Texas, the Heritage Homestead. And they have an awesome system. Their greenhouses are incredible. However, fact of the matter is, a lot of testing on aquaponic and hydroponic grown vegetables shows that they, gender neutral, shows that they yield very little trace minerals and actual caloric intake. So one of the benefits of planting in soil is the uptake from the soil. So if there's no soil to uptake from,
And here's the other
it's
thing.
like, look at the nutritional value of a cucumber. Calories 0.
Well,
it's a sack of water.
Yeah, and here's the other thing I would put to it, right? Well, those who grew up on a farm, and I grew up farming, and every year we'd go out in the field in the spring, I'd follow a trailer, and I would chuck big rocks into the trailer.
Amen.
Right? And, but if you think about it, where all these trace minerals and everything else are coming from
Those giant
are
rocks.
those rocks that are in your soil.
Yep.
Why did we go pick rocks out of our soil?
To make it
Why,
easier.
Bear?
To make it easier to plow.
The equipment.
Yep.
Big commercial farming.
Yep.
So, like in my raised beds, if I find any rocks in there,
Amen, brother.
they stay.
Yep.
I want them in there.
Where my garden in Oklahoma, what are you hand pumping again?
Yeah.
My garden in Oklahoma, yeah, they stay. Because I don't have the time to move them, you know?
Well, you don't want to.
I really don't want to anyway.
Yeah.
And
You want those trace minerals. You want that erosion, that runoff of those minerals to go into the plant. I think one of the reasons why we run into a lot of times like the lack of calcium in the soil
Yeah.
that gives you blossom and rot.
Yep.
Well, why is that?
There's nothing feeding the soil. Yep.
Nothing feeding the soil.
You know, we used to have, we'd shoot a lot of deer, and I was just thinking about the amount of yield I can get off a small footprint. You know what, Patriot? 30-second sidebar. My Texas backyard, and your Texas backyard, but my Texas backyard had meat rabbits, meat chickens, laying hens, 11 raised beds, row crops, nut trees, fruit trees, and berry bushes, all in the backyard on a third of an acre. And we produced, at our height, about 40% of the food, and I mean in dollars. Our grocery bill, now I have 3 kids and a wife, and our grocery bill went from about $300 a week to about $180 a week, just based upon the meat and vegetables and crops that we produced out of the backyard. So that's 40% right there. Howdy from Junction, Texas. Well, hello there, sir. How you be? Mm-hmm. 2 6-shooters. I have no idea where Junction, Texas is. But because of that, I'm guessing you have 2 6-shooters. So anyway, you can do it, but you need to start doing it. Now, finally, Curry Caldwell asked, how far for your second bug out location, which dovetails into what we've been trying to talk to for the last 70 minutes.
70?
70 minutes.
Good night.
Spider points. See this?
Yeah.
Spider points.
We use the proper Bear notepad.
Illustrate.
All right. So, a very. Can you hold that up?
It's completely washed out. Give me this.
All right. You can figure it out.
He did a great drawing.
Geographically accurate.
You got this is allegedly Texas. You did great though.
Give me
Good
the
job.
marker. Give me the marker. The marker looks better.
Stand by. Yeah, the marker will make you know state
to
boundaries.
regulate whatever's going on upstairs.
Okay.
Here, you marker.
Oh, I can do both.
Okay, you do both.
All right.
Perfect, exactly. Like, he's got talent. Knife hand, notepad,
Body bag.
body bag.
You
Don't miss the panhandle in Oklahoma.
Oh,
Give me my diving Sharpie back. You're fired. Give me this.
No, I need it when I start drawing.
Ah. All right.
Geographically accurate representation.
This is his briefing. Okay. Stay, paper.
This is
One
for
thing-
illustration purposes only.
Yes, this is allegedly the state of Texas.
What the heck is that a picture of?
Exactly. Did the baby draw that?
Before you drop him.
Yes, the baby drew that.
He is talented.
Oh, Lois, I can't say that word. Somebody failed geography. Anyway, continue. Go ahead, draw.
All right, so
Good job, Elijah. You did great. You did great.
good job, buddy. I love you.
I think I like Squid more than you now. You know what, brother? Whatever
It's
you
all
do.
good.
It's all good. It's Squid and Bear, not
So-
just Bear.
So we've alluded to this a couple of times, and there's been question. I mean, maybe you can go into because you've seen the conversation between PJ
Yeah.
and others.
Yeah, I'll lay the foundation.
Lay that, yeah.
So the Revolting Man did a video. It was kind of in response to a Pastor Joe video. Pastor Joe talking about how if you live at your bug out location, you still need to have a bug out location because that's your homestead, that's your home. You can't bug out to that location from that location. Meaning, again, for example, I live in Oklahoma, or Arklatexa, as I like to refer to it as. And if something was to happen there, I can't, Laura Mort, I see you, ma'am. You can't comment on the video while I see you. If something was to happen in Arklatexa, I have to have a place to go, right? Even though I live in paradise, and I put all my effort into this place, I have to have, draw us a better map and we'll head that way. Listen, Hobie, do you still own a Husqvarna? Let me know when you have a Steel and we'll talk. All right, brother? But point being, you know, his Pastor Joe's first video was PACE, primary, alternate, contingency, emergency. What are you going to do when your primary fails, right? So the Revolting Man basically said, hey, it's everything I can do to barely hold together my primary location. How am I supposed to come up with an alternate, a contingency, and an emergency? Which I think most of us deal with. So Pastor Joe posted a Patreon video, half an hour long or so, talking about that, of which he was talking about, he mentioned us at one point. I don't remember what exactly it was, bird walking he was talking about. But basically saying, get you some friends, which is what we were talking about earlier, is the concept that we have, I'm working on my thing, you are working on your thing, you are always and forever welcome at my place, right? And vice versa.
Likewise.
And how many other people do we have like that? Which brought the concept to spider points.
Spider points. So when I was a young man and I did combat search and rescue,
CSAR.
one of the things that we did was
Hold on, you gotta say CSAR.
CSAR.
Okay, better. Because people go tactical.
Yeah, tactical. One of the things that we did was when we were planning an operation to pick somebody up, that it wasn't like here's our route or here's a secondary route. It literally was points all over the map that the RESCAP could call out to us based on what was safe and say 27, 19, 47, and that would direct us the direction that we would go to get to, you know, whoever it was that we were picking up. So I have taken on that concept on more of a micro and macro scale when it comes to prepping. And so it would look something like, I'll give that to you, something like this, to where the backwards H's, which aren't backwards because they're H's and whether they're backwards or not, are home sites, and the backward C's would be cache locations. And the idea behind this is that I develop relationships in a network to where I have supply locations. Personally, for me, the choice would be behind public areas for cache locations because they can be easily
Accessed.
easily accessed, but easily, what's the word I'm looking for? Easily
Hidden. Placed.
deception. I can
Okay.
easily deceive why I'm there looking at the location,
I got you.
right? So I'm there visiting this historical
You
landmark.
have plausible deniability.
I am parked at this landmark, and I am burying a 9-inch PVC pipe that
Whoa.
has X in it.
Whoa, girl. That's
Alleged-
a great euphemism.
Allegedly.
You let me park at your landmark, girl.
So, but the idea behind it is that, I mean, the C's are important, but the
Good night,
H's,
Patriot.
but the H's are like TJ. The H's are like the Arkansas Preparedness Network folks.
Yes, our brothers over there.
Those
Yep.
are my H's, and so I'm not having to build a site, a secondary, a tertiary, whatever site. I'm not having to put energy into building that site. I'll help build it when I get there.
Right.
You build yours, I build mine. You're welcome here, I'm welcome there.
What up, Rocklick? Where have
So-
you been? I thought we were friends.
So, I mean, that's the idea behind it, is that, and it's kind of the idea behind why I decided to become more active with TJ, with Bear, is because I finally sat here and went, you know, I got this wealth of knowledge, but I need to build a network. Because I need to build a network where, yeah, my primary contingency
Yeah.
is that I mobilize where I'm at and develop LPOPs, develop security patrols, develop watch schedules, develop all these things for us. But what if that goes south?
Yep.
What if it goes south and I got to throw everything in the bed of my truck, all the kids in it, everything I could possibly carry,
And roll.
and get somewhere?
Yep.
And I think that's what PJ was really talking about, was the fact that no place is a final place.
Exactly.
That you've got to be able to have some place to go. And I don't think the answer is, okay, well, I'm going to buy up land in Oklahoma and build another place. And then I'm going to buy up land in Nebraska and build another place. And then I'm going to buy up land in Colorado and build
I
another.
mean, unless you hit the Powerball.
Yeah, I mean, if you got the resources to do that, but most of us don't.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Most of us don't have the bandwidth. I mean, it's everything I can do in Oklahoma 3 days a week. I told Harmony, I was like, by the time we get done trimming trees, it'll be time to trim trees again.
Yeah.
And that's just a fact.
We
right?
actually talked about that at the show.
Yeah. And
Well, and the other thing, like, if we actually won and had a bunch of money, like,
Lord help us.
we would probably have 12 sites within a 3 or 4 state region,
Heck yeah, man.
and we'd spend a month at each one and
Yep.
rotate
Yep.
and come back and rotate and come back and build and rotate and come back.
Yep.
But that's talking, you know, again,
That's
unlimited resources.
and very, very big picture stuff. too.
Yeah, very big picture. But, you know, I would say to start with spider points, you start with who's in your tribe, who you like, who can you make an agreement with right now that says, if I need to come your way, I come your way. If you need to come mine, you come mine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the reasons, this is going to sound really stupid. One of the reasons why I spend, one of the reasons why I've saved like all our old tents from years and years and years is that it may come to a point where I'm like, hey brother, pick a tent.
Yep.
Put it up in the backyard. You're welcome here. I'll feed you. I will give you water. I will clothe you if I have to. But I am bringing you into the fold.
Ma'am, is this?
Yeah,
No, I don't trust you. Is this juicy pear / booger?
No, that is.
That's yellow.
No.
That's not even close. Holy cow! How colorblind
That's-
A
are you?
lot. Okay. When I took my SVAP, it was like, okay, you can't fly aircraft and you can't work on the flight of an aircraft
That one is
carrier.
either.
And you can never walk again.
That one was either dead fish or strawberry banana smoothie.
I would hate
You're
to
look-
smack you through
You're
the
looking
wall.
for that
Oh,
one.
no.
That one's gone. You need to roll again.
You didn't say that.
Well, you didn't ask me. You asked Mrs. Smith.
Peach or Bart?
Mrs. Smith.
Who's Mrs. Smith, bro?
Coming.
One of these two.
That is neither of those are the color that I just found.
Yes, you did this color.
Which one?
That
That's
color.
grass or lawn or grass
Oh,
or
that's,
lime.
that's a win-win. Grass clippings or lime, which is easy.
I hope you use grass clippings. I hope it's got Roundup on it. So you got Monsanto killing you. What do we do to the spinner?
I mean, I guess this is grass clippings.
Okay, I'm coming.
I didn't really taste like nothing.
Lehman.
So,
I'm making bottles.
bottles?
Let me take my medicine. Ooh, coconut or spoiled milk? That's the worst one.
Coconut or spoiled milk? Do it. Please spoiled milk.
Please, coconut.
Please spoiled milk.
Coconut!
That unmistakable glyphosate seasoning. Listen, Palmetto. Number one, congratulations for being here. Number two,
Where did I see a palmetto before? You just told me about why he got his name.
it's when
Yeah.
it's when he walked out of the woods wearing nothing, and I was like, oh, that's Palmetto, and you're like, he needs to put clothes on, and it's like, I know, that's just what he does.
All right.
Everybody likes drinking antifreeze, okay? Yeah, Palmetto. But so, congratulations for having me here. You're welcome? ? I don't know how this double-edged compliment works, but the point is, build your tribe, right? The more of your tribe that you build, which is what we talk about all the time, is get you and your people squared away and just continue to build those relationships because.
And tying right back into that next expert.
Yep.
Who's the next person who's going to master whatever skill that is?
And think about this, right?
I know.
Like I've had a lot of people ask me, like, I think including Jay Johns on the Patreon channel, it's like, hey man, what do you suggest for comms? You know what I suggest for comms? I suggest you go watch Gordy's video at the APN.
Yeah.
That's what I suggest. Well, why? Because I've always been fortunate to have a comms guy who hands me a radio and it works.
Can we take a comms digression?
Shoot, do it.
So, for your group, this is a suggestion. I haven't done it yet with TJ, but I'm going to be with Bear. But there is and if anybody wants to ask via email, I will share it. I will share a methodology with them. It won't be the methodology that we use, but it will be a methodology that works about how you can have secure comms that will never be broken. I'm not going to go into it too much detail, but it has to do with cipher codes.
Yep.
And yeah, but if there's anybody interested, send an email. I will send you back something that's generic that you can apply. That is very simple. That is unbreakable. Okay.
Don't say the word repeat on them. Palmetto, if you would speak up, I wouldn't have to say that. And here's the thing. Number one, don't key the microphone from here because then it goes. Like, say again. Say again. Okay, I have no idea what you just
It's
said.
like that meme. Why does my wife every time I walk across the house?
Every time I'm on the other side of my house, My wife always needs to be like, that's exactly right. And the flip side of that is when you have the microphone right here and you're like,
And we assume that a zombie just ate you.
and I'm like, there's a microphone in your mouth. I have no idea what you said. And you're
Literally.
like, and you're like, okay, come back, say again. And you're like, I don't know what you're trying to say. You hold the microphone about here.
And in a zombie apocalypse, we literally mark an X on your location.
Yeah,
because
is it dead?
You're dead.
Body bag.
Body bag.
Hash bag, body bag.
Hash brown body bag.
Hash brown body bag. I have found in my case the best recommendations for finding like-minded folks is from others that I have already vetted myself, word of mouth. I would agree. Robert Stemple, it has been months since I've seen your name, sir. I'm glad you are here. That is awesome. I will say this, if there's anybody out there that is even like remotely kind of dealing with the whole Torah thing, go to 119 Ministries, because a lot of those Torah people are into preparedness, and 119 Ministries has the fellowship finder, and there are pins dropped on 5 continents. This many continents. So you could probably find somebody in your area. This many 5 continents. No, this many.
Oh, your little nails are the little laser blades.
I still need to know how many sheep Tim Sanderson has. Planning a big operation that requires OPSEC. You know what? OPSEC, yes, but also OPSEC, no.
Well, let me talk to this, because I've seen a few comments about OPSEC. I'll tell you right now, I can find any one of you in a matter of days with just your YouTube name, just even if it's fake, a partial. I used to do it, guys. Like, I used to do it every single day.
OPSEC is a myth. Thank you, Palmetto.
And we used to follow guys until they got to a place where they're in an extradition country and rolled them up.
Yeah.
So, no matter how bad that you want to hide yourself, unless you're completely disconnected, and it's one of the reasons why I'm doing this now with this idiot, is because it's not realistic. I mean, we used to get literally a partial username. That's it. That's what we started with. We would develop that into selectors, pictures, location, everything else. And this isn't like last year. This is 6 years ago.
Right.
At the peak.
Right. See, Mark Chase, I'd be surprised if it took you more than 30 minutes to find me. Exactly.
And that's kind of the point. It's like, and that's why, like, I've kind of come out of the closet.
It's about damn time.
I know. I needed to. The reason why I've come out is because it's like I can do more good trying to educate people on getting themselves in a better place.
Yep.
That, hey, I may meet a few of you who become H's on this picture.
Assuming this was an actual map.
This is geographically accurate.
Of places that existed.
They could be more H's for me on this map. That I have options to that increases the likelihood of the survival of my family.
Well, one of the things I want to talk to, and then we're going to put a bow on this because you got to put your kids to bed. I got to go home, go sleep. We have work tomorrow. But a lot of the disruption that we see in the world right now is due to the internet. Anonymity is going away. It's just going away. And things are becoming more decentralized. I've done a couple of videos in the last couple of days about YouTube versus Alex Jones, right? And people are like, well, he has freedom of speech. Sure, he does. Well, YouTube represents the best platform for him at the time to execute that freedom of speech, but it's not his only option. But the point is...
Don't move your arm if I'm rubbing it.
I'm sorry. Keep rubbing.
Okay.
Anyway, the point is that as the internet continues to develop, all of our anonymity goes away. It's already, as you're saying, right now, it's that. So, and people will say, well, OPSEC, bro, I need to be off the grid. I need to be this. I need to be that. I mean, even
unless you are completely off the grid, completely, like you don't throw an electron.
No signal, exactly.
0 electrons. You're not off the grid, believe me. Like 6 years ago, I could destroy
Kentucky,
you.
Roger. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so we're getting to that point. We're going to get more and more and more to that point. And this disruption is going to continue to happen because of the internet. Because the internet doesn't make us worse people. It just exposes the people that we are. If whatever your thing is, you can get it that quick because of the internet. And so
do you realize
Mom?
CNN has 250 anchors, or not anchors, but reporters worldwide. That's it.
yeah.
That's it. Because information flows that fast. I did 8 years ago. I wrote a paper on the exponential growth of information, and one of the reasons why the military was behind the curve when it came to getting ahead of stories.
Mm-hmm.
It was a huge deal. It was used in a colonel's postgraduate war college paper. They asked me for a copy of it. That was 8 years ago. Of being like the military being behind, being able to get ahead of a story, because immediately it went so viral socially that once that initial message gets out, you can't come back from that.
Yeah. And due to Moore's law, we're 5 to 6 times that exponentially now than we were 8 years ago. So this stuff's going to continue to happen, which I think is why it's important to be principled now, because we're not going to be changed by the internet. We're going to be exposed by the internet. And
I would challenge that.
Shoot.
I think we can be changed by the internet.
Okay.
And this is how I say we be changed.
Okay.
We be changed by using, is that not even proper English?
We be changed.
We be changed?
Listen, this is not
I know.
Chicago. Try again. We be changed, yo.
We be changed, yo, by, I think it's no longer OPSEC. What it is now is deception.
Mm-hmm.
You apply deception principles, which you would used to apply OPSEC principles to. So now instead of you're varying a route to go home.
Because you're cute, Rocklick. That's why we look for you. You're cute. Okay? You look nice. That's
so
why.
rudimentary example, instead of changing a route every day that you go home, you maybe repeat a route and then do an erratic change to it.
Yep.
I think that's where it's changed. It's changed from it being OPSEC to that, all these indicators, because literally, I mean, most of the intelligence collection I did, 90% of it we could find open source.
Yeah.
So very little of it was unique communications or other stuff. I mean, 90% of the picture you could put together. So I think, you're putting a picture together 90%. Put a deceptive picture together 90%. The other thing that I think you need to think about as well is that most of the targets I ever worked, I could probably take about a 3 square mile radius and see everything that they did in their life.
Yeah. From
work to shopping to groceries to you name it, right? So if you really want to try to start anonymizing yourself, it's branching farther than that out.
Yep.
That means more time. That means, but the other thing about it is your financial records are there. So that's why like OPSEC, like anymore to me is, I think a bogus thing, because I don't think OPSEC exists anymore.
That's what I'm getting at. All right, so QBD and we're not, or QDV rather, we're not going there today. However, I would encourage you to stick around because we will address this in an upcoming video.
What's up?
QAnon.
Yeah.
We don't have the time tonight,
No.
but we will address this in an upcoming video, QAnon. It needs to
It's
happen.
an interesting story. I've got some perspectives on it.
Bow on.
What?
Put a bow on it. You gotta.
Put a bow on it.
Put a
So,
bow on it.
anyway, good video. Got anything to add?
No, I mean, I think it was really good.
Me too.
I enjoy digressing because I think the digressions put us in places that we would have normally not planned to go.
I think
That needed to be talked about.
I think the beauty of it is the long form conversation that rather than trying to bullet point everything, it's good to have an opportunity to digress, like you say. We love you too, Brother Gordy. You're phenomenal, and I can't wait to see you again. And if you bring anything less than a gigantic, smelly, live, pissed off sheep to my house that then I have to slit its throat, I will be disappointed. I want it angry.
And I just dropped 2 burnt pieces of pecan into 2 jars of truck fuel that should do very well.
Should do very well.
And we will meet you soon.
Come Sukkot, yeah. You got to come for at least one weekend. I'm putting you on the spot right now.
No, we will.
Okay, done.
When is it?
Hip waders. Yeah, that's fine. I have a chainsaw. I mean, Hobie doesn't because it's a Husqvarna, but I have an actual chainsaw.
It's not a real chainsaw.
It's not a real. It's a toy. It's 23 September through 30 September.
Okay.
So end of next
We'll
month.
have to come for a weekend.
You're welcome.
We
Vicky.
should have our new trailer by then.
You should,
I think.
And if you don't,
And a baseball schedule.
yeah, baseball, schmaceball.
We miss a game.
Yeah, Hobie, I can't wait to see you either, brother. In all seriousness, pleasure making your acquaintance. We love you guys. You guys are awesome. And we're going to go to bed. Go to bed.
Go to bed.
Good night, Squid.
Good night, Squid.
No, you say bear now.
Oh, good night, Bear.
Bye, y'all. Night.